Welcome to Blind Girl Vlogs. I'm Siobhan and I'm totally blind, and on this channel I talk about everything blind related, from the most serious to the most embarrassing to all of the in between. Now, if that's something that appeals to you, go and smash that subscribe button, and welcome to my fam. It's good to have you here. Currently in the UK, it's just after 5 a.m. I'm up very early because I'm heading to Great Yarmouth for a couple of days. Me and my current guide dog are going to go and see my retired guide dog who's living in Great Yarmouth, where I used to live. So it would be fantastic and amazing to be reunited with Mac. It's been 6 years. I haven't seen him since he retired back in 2016. So it's going to be a very emotional reunion, but I can't wait to get back to Great Yarmouth, to see some friends, to go and do some activities. I'm going to be doing rock climbing. I'm going to be doing tenpin bowling. I'm going to be seeing some friends, maybe go to the beach. So if that's something that you want to see, stick around. How does a blind girl climb a rock, climb a wall? I don't know, because I've never done it before. So that should be interesting. I'm always up for a challenge. If you're new, then you will soon quickly find out that I do like a challenge. I'm doing my makeup as I'm talking to you. I've never done this before. I've never really sat down and had a chat and just got ready. So that's what I'm doing. I thought it'll be a good opportunity to come and sit down and talk to you guys, and just really kind of like chill out with you. My little corner of the universe, the internet verse. For me, as someone who's totally blind, I always blend. I probably over blend, but then again, I'm not going to necessarily know if it's all blended in until I make that FaceTime call to a family member who will then be able to tell me if I've blended in okay. And usually it's my mum or my sister, but I'm not going to ring them at just gone 5 a.m. So I will wait until a much more respectable hour. So not to disturb them. But I know my mum gets up incredibly early, like 4:35 a.m. just because. Not because she necessarily needs to get up that early, but I suppose everyone's body clocks are very different. So at the moment you are on a tripod, and I used my voiceover to let me know whether my face is centered. So before actually starting this video, I used my camera to try and tell me how centered my face is. And it did say centered, but if I'm moving, I might not necessarily always be center frame. So I do apologize about that. That's just one downside of being blind. Hopefully it looks okay and I don't look too, well, off center, or that it's not level. But I do my best in the limitations I have. So we have done foundation. I have already prepped my face and done my skincare and put primer on before applying foundation. Now, this might not be completely blended in, but then again, I'm going to phone and FaceTime my mum later on. So if by the end of the video it still looks awful, don't you worry. I'm not going to go out looking like that. So for me, I always forgot as a young teenager not to blend underneath the neck, and there was always a line. So I'm always making sure now that I do blend down under the jawline to make sure that there is no line, and around the hairline too. But for me, so I use my fingers a lot. Obviously, having no sight at all, my fingers are my eyes. Everything I do is by touch, and I'm always feeling, especially when I'm doing my makeup, the contours of my face. Everyone's face is different, but it still applies that my fingers are my eyes. So I'm doing all of that by touch. What have you guys been up to over the weekend? Have you got anything planned for the week ahead? What are you doing for Christmas? Oh, I've said it. I've said Christmas. I didn't think I would say that on this channel, but work colleagues are saying, oh, I'm already booking my Christmas parties. I'm like, no, we're still in summer. We're not quite autumn yet. So it always amazes me. Come September, most people are thinking about Christmas. I haven't just yet. But I probably will be spending it with family. Obviously living independently, living on my own, and my family living an hour away. I'll probably go and spend a few days with them, which will be really nice. I've got quite a big family. So seeing my nieces and nephews and all of my brothers and sisters is such a special occasion. I love it so much because I don't get to see them all the time, and it's just a treat. And the treat is I see them and then my nieces and nephews, and then I can hand them back. Bonus. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I can't wait. I really can't wait to do it. Christmas can be such a special time, but it also can be such a lonely time for so many. So while I might be enjoying myself, I always think about those people who are less fortunate, and don't necessarily have that. So I always try to make sure that, you know, I do something for the community around that time, whether it's going to hand in, you know, a box of nice treats to, you know, to a care home, or take in some treats to my local A&E, accident and emergency, to the staff, and just do something, because for one, I just think it's nice to be able to show appreciation, especially for the emergency services working over the Christmas time, but also to you know, people in care homes who might not necessarily have family members, but also giving something to local food banks for those families who might not necessarily have. So I like to kind of, like, for me personally, just to give, because I feel very blessed that you know, I do have a family, even though they're an hour away. I feel quite good about that. I'm just going to take a sip of tea, so I'm not going to slurp, so do excuse me. This is such a first for me. It's so weird talking to the camera. I've never done it before. Yeah, so let me know in the comments below whether you like these come chat with me's and get ready with me's. Because obviously you guys are watching me. I want to know what you like, what works for you. So let me know what you've been up to. I'm nosy. I want to know all of it. This weekend, I've just been really kind of getting ready for Great Yarmouth yesterday. My mum and her husband came up and they did some DIY bits for me, which was so helpful, because your girl is not great at DIY. I did once try and put a picture up, but not only was it upside down, it wasn't level. It was crooked, but I tried. The main thing is you try. Some people I know who are visually impaired and blind who are amazing at putting things together, really good with DIY. And I'm like, I wish I could be a bit more like you. But then I think, okay, well, I've got my own skills. We've all got our individual, unique set of skills. Nobody is the same, so we shouldn't compare ourselves to one another, because we all have different levels of independence. And for me, DIY it's not something that I kind of like enjoy, and some people do. So I'm just not rumbling, I can't even speak now. It's like I say, it's really early in the morning. I'm just rummaging, that's the word, rummaging through my makeup bag, and just getting concealer. So I'm just going to put concealer over some areas, and I'm getting there with the makeup, getting there. For me, it's about taking your time. I've been applying makeup for many, many years, probably a good 22 years now, 22, 23 years. Gosh, it makes me sound really old. Yeah. So when I first started out, I really struggled because I didn't know how it should really be applied. And everyone finds their own unique techniques of how to apply makeup. And there are going to be some bog standard things of how you do it, but everyone's face is different. And for me, it was just learning the contours of my face. It was learning how to apply using my fingers and various different applications like sponges or brushes. And it was just trial and error, because when I first did it, oh my goodness, you wouldn't, I looked like Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons. It was awful. It looked very streaky, very streaky. I had too much blusher on. I applied too much eyeshadow. Yeah, it wasn't a good look, although it's my own look. So when you're first starting out, I think it's good to go to a counter where they do makeup, so that they can support you with getting the right colour for your skin, the foundation, getting the right consistency, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, whether a liquid would be better or whether a powder or a hard form when you're first starting out. So just try it. Again, guys, for those of you who are looking into makeup, it really is just trial and error. Like I say, it's taken me 23 years to still get to this point, and I still have to FaceTime someone because visually I need to know that it looks okay. And what I definitely would suggest you look into, and for me it's a godsend, beauty treatments I have an eyelash tint and an eyelash lift, so it looks like I've got permanent mascara on, but also I get the volume and the lift, and I find that really, really useful. I do apply mascara. I can apply mascara, but by having this treatment, for me, saves me from having to apply it every single day. If I'm going out, then I will apply it going out of an evening or something. I will definitely apply it, even though I don't necessarily need to. I think I just feel like things have all been done and my makeup is then complete. But for me, it was great. And also I get my eyebrows waxed and plucked and tinted too. It just helps keep the shape. So I love it, because I wouldn't necessarily know if I tried to pluck my eyebrows myself, which I've done before during the pandemic. I did. I actually plucked them, and I thought, oh, I was just going to cut them. What's the worst that could happen? And the worst didn't happen. It looked hideous, apparently. Felt okay. By touch, it felt fine. But by looking at it, no, definitely not, apparently. So I'm now applying powder, which is almost gone. It's a translucent powder just to set everything. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have something, because it's empty, guys. Showing an empty container for those of you who are blind or visually impaired. My followers might not be able to see that or know what I'm talking about. So it's nearly empty. So I'm now just using a brush and covering my face and setting that. It sounds like I'm a painter or something, like prime your face, paint your face. Oh my goodness. It's been quite fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting more confidence. I think when I first started this channel many years ago, I didn't really upload until 2016, that year, when my previous guide dog Mac retired. So I think since then, I've really gained a lot of confidence, and I feel a bit more comfortable in talking to the camera. It still feels quite alien to me, because no one's answering me back, which is probably a good thing. And I'm feeling a bit exposed. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it, to be honest. And I think the more you do it, it's like anything, isn't it? The more you do it, the better you feel about it, the more confident and comfortable it becomes. So now I am looking for the top. So now I've done the primer, the foundation, and the powder. I am going to, and the concealer. I am going to now try and apply some eyeshadow. Now I'm using one from Charlotte Tilbury. This has lasted me forever because I don't really use it that much. It comes in a little round pot. It's cream based, which I quite like because for me it's quite easy to apply, as is powder, by the way. But sometimes powder you can get like a little, like it can fall when you put it on your eye, get fallout. So I am now putting the brush on my eyelid and just working my way, feeling as I go. And again, it might not look completely perfect by the time I end this video, but thanks to technology, I'm able to FaceTime my mum or my sister to get their final approval. But I think it's about knowing your face, knowing and blending. And for me, generally, if I'm using a eyeshadow, which is powder, I will count how many strokes of the brush I put on the powder. So normally I do 5, 3, 1, and then just blend afterwards. And that generally looks okay. So then I know each eye is going to have the same. So I'm gonna do it again. Again, you build up, but very gradually, because for me, it's easier to build up gradually and get that visual assistance rather than putting so much on and then you're going to have to rub it all off. So over the years, I've learned to kind of build it up gradually, and I know that that particular number, 5 strokes, 3 strokes, and then 1 stroke, for the eyeshadow that I use, because I use one mainly, actually works for me and it looks good. When I'm experimenting, I will experiment generally with someone, so they can say, oh, that's a bit heavy, how many strokes did you do? And then you just learn. And never be afraid to learn and experiment, because that's what it's about. That's how we learn, isn't it? So just have a good old play and experiment with different things and different makeup and different colors, and you will find your own style and what suits you. And you can definitely shake it up a bit as well, depending on the look you're going for. I generally stick to natural colors, like shades of like rose gold or pink or gold itself, just because for me it's easy to work with and you can wear it on a day look. And if I'm going out, I might shake it up and use different colors. I might actually get one of my friends to kind of do like my whole makeup face for me. It's not that I can't do it. Sometimes I want a look that I just know that I can't achieve, because I just haven't learned how to do that. And I know there's some amazing people out there who do fantastic stuff with makeup. Claire Sisk, Sassy Wyatt, Emily Davison, only but a few to mention. You know, they're great at doing their makeup. So yeah, I've learned a lot from Emily over the years. Emily Davison, Fashionista here on YouTube. I've learned so much from her doing makeup. So definitely go and check her out, because she gives some good tips, probably better than me, because at the moment I'm just concentrating, trying to talk, do 2 things at once. But yeah, if you want a more in-depth and tutorials, she's got some on her channel to be able to guide you along with that. But you'll find your own. That's my guide dog. Can you hear him? He's streaming. You'll find your own way with it. But the one biggest thing I would say is definitely go to a makeup counter, whether you're in Superdrug or Boots, and speak to the girls on the counter, because they will be able to match you up with a foundation that suits your skin tone. And definitely get them to put a little bit on the back of your hand and rub it in. I know that there are machines that they do use, but sometimes the colours aren't always that reliable. So always do a patch test on the back of your skin and get them to rub it in and see if it actually blends and it works well. And then potentially go with someone you trust as well, like a family member or a friend. Because they're going to be honest with you. And you want people to be honest. You don't want people to say, oh yeah, it looks really nice, and actually no, it really doesn't suit your skin tone, or it's not necessarily what you're after. So I think I'm still working on my eyeshadow, but like I say, I like to blend. I like to make sure that the creases are all done. It might not look perfect, but thanks Mum, you're going to be called later. So we've done that. I'm not going to be wearing too much. I've already got my mascara, eyelash lift and stuff done. So I don't need to put mascara. I'm just going to make sure that that's... So I don't need to put mascara on, which is a godsend, really. What have I got? So I'm going to be putting a tiny bit of blusher on. I made the mistake once, guys. So I have 2 round containers and I just picked one up and started applying it all over my face as a translucent powder. Well, I then didn't realise that it was blush. So I went out with a completely red face, and it was only my sister, when I saw her one weekend, she was like, why is your face really red? Is everything okay? But then I'd been going to work. I went to do an interview panel. Nobody said. For me personally, I would rather someone tell me if it didn't look right, or if I had something on my cheek, or whether I had a tiny bit of mascara dabbed on the side of my nose, because I'm not going to know. And for me, I don't find that offensive. I think, well, if no one actually said anything, I would be going around with this black blob on the side of my face, and that's not the look I'm looking for. So I now have the blush in front of me. I use my fingers again because I find, for me personally, it's so much easier to apply, and I know how much is going on. So I'm going to do 2 strokes. So 1, 2, and then I feel with my other fingers where my cheekbones are, and then I dab, and then I blend in circular motions. I don't do lines. I used to do lines until I was told, no, it looks too harsh. Just do circular motions, because then you can blend it and it doesn't look so harsh. So I'm now blending. I'm hoping it looks okay. I'm not going to put lipstick on yet and do my lips, because I'm still drinking my cup of tea, and it would be pointless to do that. But it's been great having you here, guys, joining me in my get ready with me before heading to Great Yarmouth. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you stuck to the end, bananas. If anyone has, put bananas in the comments. I'd love to know. Anyway, have a great week ahead. Whatever you've got planned, keep it positive, keep the vibe. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.